Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince and today I'm joined by Joshua and Manoj. Should I call you Manoj or Manoj Matthew or Matthew? What do you prefer?
Manoj will be enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
So we
Which one is
have
it?
It's the full name is Manoj Matthew, but Manoj is enough. Actually, it's Manoj Matthew and something else, but that's too long.
Okay.
We'll stick it to Manoj Matthew. That's enough. I just want to
so
thank Nora Prince for bringing me to this podcast, like to his prestigious podcast.
you're welcome.
That was a very awkward pause there.
Okay, and yeah. So today we'll be talking. So today we'll be talking about Abstraction Netflix film released yesterday. Yeah, yesterday,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
starring Chris Hemsworth, produced by the Russo brothers. Have a lot of
And
great Indian actors in it, and
yep,
Yep.
some of them only there for one scene.
yeah, we'll come to that, and
Yeah,
it's directed by Sam Hargrave, who's
yeah,
been a stunt coordinator and stunt guy
yeah,
for Avengers and MCU films, and now this was
yeah,
his director debut.
yeah.
So, without any delay, let's get into our overview or initial thoughts. Who wants to go first?
Uh, should we go non-spoilers first?
I think we'll go spoilers. I don't think why someone will watch this for non-spoilers. I
Fair
Yeah,
think
enough.
it's pretty straightforward. I think if you have seen the
I
trailer, you
mean,
are spoiled.
I was under the impression that like we are reputed Indian critics.
Oh, no, no, we
Yeah,
are
we,
not.
we don't do that here. We don't do that here.
Yeah.
The
Like I thought we'd give Rajiv Masand a run for his money
yeah,
by putting this podcast out, but I guess not.
the critics themselves give away everything in their review, so I
Yeah,
think
I know.
we can do that too.
Yeah, I guess Nona, you can go first if you want.
No, no, you guys go first. I'm the host. I'll go last.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
okay.
The mic drop.
All right,
I'll do the
so
mic drop.
okay, I guess the newcomer goes first then.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, that's how we deal with things here.
Okay, okay.
You got this, man.
No, yeah, no pressure, right? Okay, so I personally thought the movie was fine. Like it had, I thought it had all the elements to become a great movie, but it kind of stumbled somewhere, especially in the first half. I thought like, I feel like none of the characters had much depth other than Randeep Hooda's character, whose name I don't remember. Like I don't remember the character's name, but I feel like other than Randeep Hooda's character, all the other characters came across as one-dimensional, and
Okay.
like even Chris Hemsworth's character, it was like he had this he had this backstory with his own child, but I never really cared about that. Like at any point of the film, it's I think the only place where the film kind of emotionally got me involved was towards the end in that bridge sequence. I thought there, you could kind of feel some of the emotions going down, but I thought at the end of the day, it was just about okay.
The Randeep Hooda's
Okay,
character
yeah.
was Saju.
Saju.
Shah. Oh yeah, Saju. Yeah. I mean, I thought he did a pretty good job. Like, and his character had depth because you saw his family, you cared for him a little bit.
Yeah.
So like when he got killed in the end, which
He
I
he
thought was done pretty well.
he
Like
had
you saw him survive, and then he just got shot right in the end. So that was
yeah.
pretty good.
He had stakes.
Yeah, yeah, he had stakes. That's the thing. But Chris Hemsworth's character didn't really have much going for him. I thought he was pretty much just trying to die all the time.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah. But I have to compliment the action scenes. I thought those were really great. It reminded me a little bit of John Wick and maybe a bit of Arrow also. Like that one take sequence. I don't think it was a one take because there was a couple of
No.
moments where I thought that was definitely a cut
Yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
sure.
But they tried to hide it. But I still thought like the chase sequence. Apparently the director shot it himself. Like he was like strapped to a car. I saw it on Twitter recently. The behind the scenes. So he was like strapped in front of the car and he was shooting it. So I mean, you could really see the dedication there. But I feel like apart from the action sequences, I don't think the film really delivered that much.
I think we all can get over it that this film had a really good action sequences and well choreographed action sequences.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty true. Yeah,
So we don't have to repeat that again and again.
yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. I would like to hear what you guys think now.
Yeah, Josh.
I mean, we kind of covered up all the points in there. Again,
This
I
is going to be
mean,
the shortest podcast.
no. See, like the film like went along exactly like to its name, right? So like Extraction, that was it. Like you said,
Yeah.
there wasn't much depth to any of the characters except for Saju because he had stakes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's
And
true.
yeah, as well as there was not really much of a lot of emotions, except maybe I'm reading too much into it. But when the kid Ovi shot the guy, I mean, I kind of felt
Ye-
like
Oh
maybe
yeah, yeah,
maybe he thought like he was becoming like his dad, like because he just like
yeah.
moments ago he was just telling.
Yeah. Yeah, but unfortunately, they didn't really explore that much.
Sorry,
Like,
yeah, I
unfortunately.
mean they should have, like what
Yeah.
if he was becoming more like his dad after that shot? Because
Sure, sure,
just
sure.
moments ago, he was just like, venting out about like how his dad killed somebody else's dad or something like that. So I feel like they should have gone more. Maybe I'm reading too much into the situation, but
No, but I
I feel
think they
like
should have.
they should have gone more
Yeah,
towards
I
that,
totally,
more
totally agree with
emotional.
that.
Because it was like a whole action-packed sequence. Okay,
Yeah,
the whole movie was an action film. Like I
yeah.
said, it was a good movie, but not like the best movie. Like it
I
was
mean, I feel
okay
like it was the best big budget film we could get during lockdown.
during lockdown. Yeah, fair enough.
I don't think it was intended to be like that.
I think like we discussed before also, like Pankaj Tripathi, right? Like,
Yeah.
dude, I was actually really psyched to see him in the movie.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, when I saw him in the trailer, I was
yeah,
like,
I actually thought, okay, this guy's going to be like the main villain. But then he was there only for like one scene, and I was like, okay, what's happening here? And
like I,
I don't know, that kind of threw it off for me a little bit. But even then, the other villain, the character Amir Asif, I think it
yeah,
was, yeah,
yeah,
he did a pretty good job. I mean,
yeah.
normally it's like normal film. It's like the villain normally goes get their hand dirty and stuff like that. But in this, it was just like,
Yeah.
you know what, you do this, you do that. I'm not gonna do anything. It
True,
was
true,
it was
true.
kind of decent, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you remember the actor? You have
Uh,
seen him. You have seen him. We saw the movie together.
really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! No, no, Bhavesh Joshi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, he
Bhavesh
was in
Joshi.
Bhavesh Joshi.
Yeah, he played
Yeah,
the title character.
the
Which?
first guy who died.
Oh,
Spoilers.
okay.
Sorry, I thought this
Oh,
was like already. We did a podcast with Bhavesh Joshi. Okay.
I had no idea. Like, I'd seen Bhavesh Joshi. I actually liked that movie quite a bit, but I had
Yeah,
no
man.
idea that he was in Bhavesh Joshi.
No wonder he looks familiar.
Yeah, but I
He,
mean, like, there's a description. Like, they say that he's like the Pablo Escobar of,
yeah, yeah,
the like, and I was like, he kind of looks a bit like him, at
And
least from the Netflix show.
even the ending, it was very like, is he actually there? Like, is he actually
Oh yeah,
alive? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. Let's discuss that. What do you guys think? Is he
I
alive? Is he
don't
dead?
I,
know.
I wanted to discuss the ending, but I was keeping it for later.
Yeah,
Okay,
But
okay,
no.
okay. Yeah, sure, sure, sure,
that
sure, sure.
ending just screwed up. So it's my turn. Anything
Go
else?
for it.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
for it.
go for
Yeah,
it, go
so
for it.
I've actually made pointers. I'll
Oh
go through
my
them
God.
quickly. So I think I'll start from the time I got to know about the film. Just
All right.
before a month
Okay.
before they started shooting in, I think, Gujarat. They didn't shoot it in
Okay.
Okay.
Bangladesh.
Yes.
And when I got to know it's producers are Russo brothers, Chris Hemsworth, they'll be Indian actors. I was really excited, and for me, the biggest thing was Indian actors. Good Indian actors will get exposure because of this film.
Yeah.
So on that front, apart from Randeep Hooda and Priyanshu, I felt
Yeah.
no other Indian actor did like really shined or had something to do. I was so
I
disappointed with
mean,
Pankaj Tripaঠি's
there
like
was there was the kid also, right?
the kid. I think overall maybe it was the direction of the kid or the kid.
Yeah,
He
it was a
didn't.
little bit.
Yeah, it was off
It
for
felt
me.
a little one
Yeah,
dimensional.
his acting was off for me. He was like,
Yeah.
I mean,
he
I'm
was
assuming
like a
he's like a newcomer, right? I mean, I'm
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
assuming
yeah, yeah.
he'll probably
No, I
need a little
think
bit more of practice and stuff like that.
it's also the
True,
writing
true,
of his
true.
character. He's he's shown it's like very stereotype character. Like, he's like a, yeah,
Damsel in distress.
he's a teenage kid. Yeah, he's damsel in distress,
Yeah.
but he's very wise. Okay,
Yeah,
but that build up we never see, because
Yeah,
what I feel about this film is that it's like it's the film is about an event which includes a lot of characters. We have not gone to the backstory. It's not a 3 hour film. It's just an event
Yeah.
that took place between these characters between this time, and everything just happened.
True.
We just saw the event. We didn't see a person's movie. We didn't see about the drug lord and everything about that. It was just an event, the event of extraction. We only saw that. So I think in that terms, and you guys raised a point that you feel the movie should have explored a lot of things. But
Yeah.
I feel that when you put it like this, no, like their job was this. They wanted to just show the event. They
Yeah.
did touch a lot of things while there. It felt like we are watching a part of the world. We don't know the whole world. Their things exist in this world, but we only saw a part. And it's not just
Yeah.
that part exists and nothing else. There is a world existing there, but we only saw a part. There's a feeling of that. Just consider them showing the character, which was the character, Farhad, who became a henchman for Amir, who at the end killed
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth's character. Like
Yeah.
his evolution, the kids coming in the way of him, the kids getting into becoming a gangster, getting inspired due to
Yeah.
various reasons. So they're even touching these things, but they are not like, oh, at the end Chris Hemsworth saved the kids and everything is fine. They didn't do that. That
True,
would have
true.
been really horrible. We didn't go that route. So it's an event. And I think the one thing that really bothered me at the ending was when the Nick Khan, she went and killed Asif at the end. Because that,
Yeah, that felt very random.
yeah,
That felt like it was rushed. It was like kind of rushed.
yeah, that destroys my thought of the world exists, and they didn't try to
Yeah,
save
that's
everything.
true. That
Like,
goes
if-
everything against what we're saying right now.
Yeah, if you just go, if you can just go and kill him, then what was the point of the
Yeah.
extraction? They
True,
just
true.
destroys the purpose of extraction,
True,
and
true.
trying to hide and get over with it because you don't have the power. If Asif would have been still there, and we would have these things will exist forever, we cannot change that, and we just saw an event that took place between those characters. But they just they just gave the ending away. And let's come to that ending. First of all, out of focus, we saw there no way Chris Hemsworth is alive.
No, see this. I actually read an interview with the director Sam Hargrave. Hargrave, I guess that's how you pronounce it. But he apparently said that for him, Chris Hemsworth was actually dead. Like when they wrote the script first, he was actually dead. But
Okay.
apparently, when they tested the film to audiences, they were like 50% of the audience wanted him alive. And even the Netflix, I think someone associated with Netflix, I forgot his name. Even he said that he should be alive in the end. So they kind of did something where they can please both camps, where they left it kind of it's kind of like an Inception kind of ending where they're like,
Yeah.
oh, is he alive or is he dead?
I don't buy that.
Kind of a thing.
That's
What he said in the interview. He said that according for him, Chris Hemsworth's character is dead. Like he doesn't see him surviving. It's just a vision of the kid. But this was just the way they did it, so that if this film ends up being successful, they could probably think of a sequel. That's what they. That's what he said in an interview actually.
that's bullshit. I'm
Yeah, I
calling
know,
on it.
I know.
See, you know
Look,
what?
I'm saying he's dead. He's dead.
I see the point. The thing of this, getting the audience and 50% want. This is bullshit. You're making a film because you want to tell a story. The whole story is about him running away from the kid died. He didn't even stay. He went to Afghanistan. He didn't want to see his kid die. And the whole film is about him finally getting over it, and at the end he finally sees the clear version of his child and not the blur version we were seeing all throughout the film.
True.
Now this point just defeats the whole purpose of the film itself. And then you're giving the audience how should you tell a story. No, you tell a story what you want to do. You don't give the audience the vote. Someone,
See,
I
but
just read it. I just read it today. Art
as
is not democracy. People cannot vote for it.
yeah,
True.
yeah, yeah. True, true. But as much as I agree with you, yeah, as much as I agree with you, but actually test screenings are a big thing in Hollywood. Like they do that for many films.
No, I agree. I agree. To under
Yeah,
if it's
yeah,
a big commercial film, I agree. You do that, but you don't change the whole.
yeah, yeah.
It's like people didn't like
True, true.
Thanos. Thanos won in Infinity War, so they changed the ending. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, yeah. I
See,
mean,
that's
yeah, that's very true.
you should know what you can change and what not. What how much you can compromise.
Yeah,
I think I talked
true,
a
true.
lot. Now you guys.
No, you made a good point.
No, 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 no. No, I was just trying to pull out the article where, he was like talking about the ending. Oh yeah, okay. Okay. So this is what he said. This is what the director said about the movie.
Yeah.
You guys want to listen to what he said?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Go on.
Yeah. Okay. So we had a version of the movie, and we tested it a lot, and it was not surprising that a lot of people wanted the character to live, and some people wanted him to die. People were torn. It was almost down the middle. We want to appeal to as many people as possible without compromising the integrity of the story. I mean, I would say they compromised, but still. So we think a pretty good compromise is made, and more about that. And then he's like, "Yes, I'm satisfied and stuff." Oh yeah, it's just about like that's just about it. It's basically what I said before.
Okay.
Apparently, they had multiple endings though. They had shot multiple endings. Yeah, so apparently they shot multiple endings for the
Okay.
movie.
See again, it's
But
it's
I think we're being too hard on this movie right now. I think we should like talk about some of the most positive aspects of it.
yeah. I think we should discuss everything. But I
But
would
I
say
thought
it's
Farhad,
it's
yeah, it's just okay. It's like a okay watch kind of a movie.
yeah it's I would say it's a one time watch. Like there's
Yeah, true.
nothing in this film like oh I want to see it again.
Like watch it for the action scenes, I would say.
Yeah, that's about it. That's not really much into the story. Like I
Yeah,
said,
true,
the
true.
story is like pretty much to the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sure, true. I mean, the my favorite moment of the film was when I think there's a moment where all the kids sort of attack Chris Hemsworth
Yeah.
with
That was
their
a
Yeah,
garage
that
or
was a
something, and then he just slaps one kid. And he's like, "Piss off."
that was a cool scene.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, I mean, he does end up killing him in the end, but still.
I think one more thing I really liked was the authenticity that each character just spoke in their language. That there was no everything should be in English for the
yeah,
audience.
yeah.
They
That was
stick
there.
Oh
they stick
yeah,
to it throughout.
that reminded me. But that reminded me, like there are multiple scenes, especially towards the end, between Randeep Hooda and the kid. And Randeep Hooda speaks to him in English, and that threw me off because I'm like, why would you like? There's no one else in the room. Like he's literally like this. It's like it's a life or death situation. Would you really speak to him in English at that point of time?
But I think they set it up in the beginning that the school he goes to, the area he lives, like
Yeah, that's true.
like when
That's true.
I
But
think
I mean,
when he's in the car and he asks him, "Do you trust him?" Like I think that's
yeah,
oh,
that threw me off a lot because I'm like, ah, why?
I thought about it at that moment, but I was like, okay, I'll give it away. Like okay,
No,
I
but
maybe
mean,
there was
that's
like
not.
really good
the
authenticity in it.
boy too spoke a lot of English.
Yeah, but there was another scene also. Like I think in the bridge where he like tells him to go inside the bus, and he's like, "I'll draw them off. You stay here." Like even that was spoken in English. I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't feel right.
I think
Like it could
that's
be just me.
I
It
think
could
I
just
Doesn't
be
think
me. But
doesn't
I think
doesn't feel
that's the
authentic.
point.
Doesn't feel authentic.
Yeah, I think that's
yeah,
the
like
point. They
it's
they decided we have to cater to the English audience.
English audiences obviously. But I mean, I feel like English audiences are used to like just reading the subtitles, like for scenes like
I
that.
don't
So it's
think so,
fine.
man. I don't think so. The things I read on
Really?
online, man.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
What do you
but
mean?
but
People are people complain about OTT platforms like why
oh,
their
Parasite.
subtitles dub it for us. We'll not read. Should I watch the film or should I
Oh
read
yeah,
it? Like
Oh my god.
people are crazy, man.
I read something like that for Parasite. Like someone was like, it's this is a lot of reading.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
here to watch a film, not read essays.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll read the script otherwise.
Dude, I am completely against dubbing. I hate dubbing a lot because the authenticity goes completely.
My whole YouTube career is based on subtitles.
Okay, so I mean, maybe let's see. What are your favorite scenes in the movie?
I think one of my favorite scene was like when they first capture him to do the extraction. Like they try to just fuck. Okay, I can't use that word. And they try to just mess with him.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like the goons that just try to mess with him and stuff like that. But
yeah.
then Chris Hemsworth's character just takes no shit. He just like grabs a gun and just like it was kind of like a
That was
badass
good.
movement. Obviously because this guy is
Yeah,
like weirdly suicidal. But at the
yeah,
same
yeah, yeah.
point of time, that's actually a really badass movement, honestly.
I think from the beginning they made him a very tough and cool character when he jumps off
Yeah,
in
Yeah,
they
the
did,
water.
yeah.
yeah. True, true, true. I mean, I would have liked it if they had explored his character a little bit more throughout the movie. Like, we hardly got any sort of depth to him, which like it made me not connect with him as much as a character. Like, I could connect with Randeep Hooda's character throughout, but not him. Like a little part of me was rooting for Randeep Hooda. Like when they're fighting with each other, I'm like, "Come on, Randeep, you can do it." I also thought that Farhad's character was like the most compelling one out of everything. Like, I would not mind seeing a spin-off based on Farhad's character, like as he goes more and more deep into the underworld kind of scene.
Yeah. Basically it takes over Asis dynasty or
Yeah,
whatever.
probably, probably. It could be like a Dawn kind of a
I
movie,
think
like Narcos.
his intro scene was also cool.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Like, I feel like that's what upsets me a little over this movie. I feel like there was so much potential, but I feel like they didn't really. I feel like they didn't quite bring the story alive. You could see flashes of it where they were like, "Oh, this could be cool," but I just thought, like in the end, everything sort of fell flat.
I think it again comes to that point. They didn't
Yeah, yeah,
just they
that's
just
true.
they just showed an event. They didn't go through
That's true.
anyone's
That's
story
true.
and.
But I feel like if they had gone more to the story, it would have made a better movie. Because I mean, like if you compare this with something else, like if you compare it with the Die Hard, I feel like Die Hard also kind of revolves around this event throughout the movie. It's just like one like terrorist sort of hijacking this hotel, but I had a lot more fun in that one than in this one. I mean, I know the scope and everything is very different, but like purely based on just an action movie.
I think Die Hard also doesn't go into deep what the characters are.
Yeah, but for some reason there you don't feel it lacking.
I think it's more about that movie is more commercial than this film. This film is
Yeah,
very action oriented.
Probably. I
That's
mean,
it's this is not like
has them like this film has them crashing over cars, but still being completely all right.
I think one other scene I really liked was I forgot what I just had it in my
I,
mind. Yeah.
that yeah,
Like
go on,
after
go on.
each fight sequence, long fight sequences, we got breathing spaces with the characters. We like they were talking.
That's very true. True,
Like
true.
yeah,
I really like quiet moments in films. Sometimes in the action, in the this much everything, the exposition going on, people forget to give these characters time to breathe and talk. And I think that really
True.
it's, big budget films really go through that problem a lot. And I
Yeah,
think Avengers
true.
films, MCU films, and this film they take time with the characters. And I think I was recently watching the whole MCU in Hindi with my father, and
Okay.
watching all them together. I can see the formula what MCU does
Okay.
really good. They put the
Yeah.
exposition out. It's ridiculous. You don't understand a thing if you are not a theoretical physicist. You'll not get a thing. But they cut it with a joke, and then there's a very
Yeah.
emotional character moment following it. So
Yeah.
if you
True.
don't
True.
get what they're talking about, whatever time heist and whatever, there's a character moment next to it which you'll understand and enjoy. You'll understand the stakes. So you don't have to understand the science of it. So that I
True.
think
I mean, I would
that's
argue that season one of The Flash, they did the same thing. Like even in
the
season one, they had to like introduce so many concepts, like new concepts, but they always used to cut it with a joke or like have a character moment. So like everything sort of felt natural within that world. I mean, now it's not like that, but
Yeah, sure. You guys want to say anything else?
like there's a scene where Randeep Hooda straightens his nose. I thought
Yeah,
that was
man.
pretty cool.
Yeah, and afterwards he calls his wife and talks to his kid.
Yeah,
That
that
whole
was pretty
sequence
good.
is quite good.
See, like sometimes I feel like this movie should have been entirely from Randeep Hooda's character point of view. Like, I feel like that would have made a better movie.
I was thinking about it. Like, just remove Chris Hemsworth from the film, and you still have a
Yeah,
film.
yeah. I mean, seriously. And I just want to think, what was Randeep Hooda's plan exactly? Because
I think the plan was give the half the money, so they'll get the kid
yeah,
out of his.
and kill Chris Hemsworth and take the kid from there. But
Yeah,
how do you plan to get out from there? Like the bridges, everything is closed. Like even as he's attacking them, the boats and all come. The Bangladesh police force sort of comes.
I'm pretty sure he must have had a plan.
Like they never like make a point to like say. I mean, as like whenever he was attacking Crimson, I just kept wondering, okay, what's your
You
plan
know,
here?
it was really hilarious, and I'll come to that point. Is some of the critics also mentioned it that
Okay,
the Ovi, the child, the kid,
yeah.
he's like, there's someone who he knows from his childhood calling him, "Come, I'll save you," and there's Chris Hemsworth, Thor himself, saying, "I'll save you," and he goes with Thor.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think the some of the critics pointed
See, I
the
mean,
white.
they could have had his mask on. Like then there would be some logic. Like the kid doesn't know.
Yeah, I think the
You know.
critics said the white savior elements, the
Yeah,
variety called the film a white savior version of Man on Fire. I don't know what that film is. Then
even I have no idea.
Screen Rant said that film's regressive white savior elements drag it down. And I think it's kind of true. You feel like if Chris Hemsworth's character was just any character and the whole story was about Randeep Hooda's character, it would have made a lot more
It would have been
sense.
much better.
Yeah,
Much like and just imagine if you're going into the movie thinking that Chris Hemsworth is a hero, but turns out he's like the villain character.
yeah, that would have been
Like
so
I don't know,
cool.
like that would have been like way more cool. And I've never seen Chris Hemsworth do a villain kind of role. I feel like that would have been really like captivating.
I think this film also exposes how limited Chris Hemsworth is with his acting. He's good with comedy and what he does with Thor, and I think a lot of it was similar in this film also.
True, true,
Unless
true.
even after Endgame with his twist, like he's good in emotions also, but like he's very limited. Like I don't see him doing
Yeah, okay. I mean,
Daniel Day Lewis and Nawazuddin Siddiqui.
obviously not, but I think in Infinity War there was a scene with him and Rocket, like where he just says that my entire plant got destroyed, and like
Yeah,
they just talk it out, and that scene was pretty good. I really
yeah,
enjoyed that scene.
yeah. He does that good, but there's not range. Like just consider Randeep Hooda. This guy
Yeah,
has
I
a
mean
range
that's
which is
yeah,
not Chris Hemsworth is not even close
true,
to him.
true, true. I agree with it, but I think even the writing has to be blamed here. Like we didn't really get much of Chris Hemsworth. I mean, we even the kid thing, we just got like a few flashbacks. Like it was just like I don't know. That element felt very weak for me. Like
I think
I feel like they could have done a lot more.
it's also the the way Hollywood, like the way their acting works. They try to play it very low and subtle and
Yeah, true, true,
nuances.
true,
And
true,
Randeep
true.
Hooda with him crying, that is not very big thing in Hollywood. That they don't show people cry. They just show very emotional. He's just have tears in his eyes and everything is happening in his mind. Like so, I think
True, true.
that's what I thought while watching
Yeah,
it. I think that Chris Hemsworth playing it, down, and then the Buddha was just doing what he does.
there was so I was actually talking about this to my friend,
Yeah,
like, and he told me a good point. He was like, okay, wait, I can give a shout out to him, right? Shout out to Shivam.
yeah, he deserves
He's never
it.
going to listen to this. Yeah, he's never going to listen to this. But he told me that like the scene where him and the kid are talking, like that was scripted pretty unrealistically according to him. Like he was just like saying, "Oh, you have a kid," and it was very direct. It felt like a viva or something. Like he was just asking questions and he was
Yeah,
shooting answers.
that makes sense.
It
Yeah,
was like, yeah. You
It
have a
was
kid?
like
Yes, I have a
that.
kid. You have a wife? Yes, I have a wife. Like, I guess the chemistry was missing between him and the kid.
I think there was not enough time to build the chemistry.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true.
It's like the audience have to get over it and understand, yeah, they have a chemistry. Like the scene in the bedroom, and after that, he killed his friend, and
Yeah.
yeah, the chemistry is there.
Yeah.
Anything else before we go to the closing statements? I feel like I'm a judge
I
in
still
a
feel like
court.
they should have had some sort of like a bonding thing between the main characters.
I,
A
I
little bit
feel so.
more. A
Even
little bit
I
more.
think the same.
That's about it.
I think they should had a bonding scene before Randeep Hooda's character came in. Because he just got him away from the goons and he's just taking him inside. And how you just trust someone?
True, true.
I wish they had a scene before Randeep Hooda come over and he kills other guys and then they have a face off. Before that, there should be a bonding moment which so the guy chooses Chris Hemsworth's character and it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I like logically speaking, I don't think it makes any sense for him to go with Chris Hemsworth. Like, like even if they put some scenes, I feel like they should just put Randeep Hooda on the mask, like, and had him like far away,
Yeah.
so that the
Bro,
kid doesn't see him.
bro, you kidding me, right? It's Chris Hemsworth, Thor himself.
No, not Thor. I mean like Randeep Hooda in a mask.
No, no, I was joking.
Okay, okay,
That
okay.
you have Thor on one side and you have someone else.
Oh, okay,
Of
okay.
course, you'll choose Thor.
Dude, that knife fight was pretty good though between
Yeah.
them. Like, although, like, I think this thing distracted me from the movie a little bit. Like in the one shot scene, like the allegedly one shot scene. It's not the real one shot. Like, whenever they used to like zoom to one place so that they can like switch
Yeah.
between the stunt double and the real actor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Sometimes I was like, oh, that's a bit too obvious over there. Like, I feel like Daredevil did this one like in the last season, and I feel like Daredevil was done a little bit more better. Like, it was not that obvious when the stunt double used to come in. Here, I just felt like it was a little bit obvious. But look, that's a minor nitpick though.
Yeah, I think overall the action was really, really well done.
Pretty
I
good,
think the
pretty good.
film is
Although
built on that.
I feel like there were a bit too many repeated car crashing onto one person.
Yeah. I
It happened twice.
I was not impressed with the climax.
Okay, that's the only part which impressed me.
I think it works really well the way they shot it. Everything works well. I think the problem is like his bullets doesn't get over. People just come and he's just shooting. Like I got
Oh,
tired.
yeah,
I got
Yeah,
tired.
that was
I
a
just
little
got
bit
tired.
like I felt it was a little bit unrealistic.
It just
But then at the same time, I thought he'd be like taking the goon's gun at least, like the other army guns, that fell off. But no, he wasn't doing that either.
And
I was like,
and
okay,
there
how
was
much of ammo does this guy have?
I think you
and
could
there
have
was a scene.
they could have easily shrunk the geographical area. Like it was like they were so far away and then
True,
they're
true,
coming
true.
together. It was like okay, I'm okay. And the
And I
other
guess
guy,
when you
the Bangladesh head, like
True,
he's a
he was like
major.
absolutely far away.
He's a
He
major
was just
and he's
watching it from
hiding
his
in a
binoculars.
room and shooting at people with a scope. I'm like, really, dude?
Oh yeah,
You
true,
are
true.
a major in the army and you're just sitting there your own.
See,
Like you don't have anyone to do it for you, really?
and I actually your geographical area point is pretty true because I feel like the more you increase the geographical area, the lesser the tension. Like the more constrained the space is, the more tension there is.
Once the plan started with Chris Hemsworth staying there in the building and them going with the car, I thought that's it. That's the last time they're meeting. And he's
True,
like,
true,
he's
true.
calling him, oh, come fast, come fast. Randeep Hooda is like, come fast on the bridge. I'm like, what the
No,
hell?
no, and that scene, right? Chris Hemsworth, he puts a grenade over that tank thing. He puts like 2, 3 grenades,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm like, can't you use that? Can't you drive that to the bridge or something?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, man.
I
It's like, again, I think some people will just complain you are just finding flaws and all,
nitpicking.
but these things just
Yeah,
pop
that's
out while watching. I'm watching the
Yeah,
film,
yeah,
yeah, I
true.
want to be, focused, but suddenly I'm like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Like, why
Sure.
this? Like,
True.
just hampers the experience.
True.
and I cannot undo it. What can I do?
True, true, true. I mean, like different people will feel differently about the movie, and that's totally fine. Like if people absolutely enjoy this or love this movie, or if you think this movie is the greatest movie ever, that's also fine. Like everyone can have their own opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think, like watching the trailer, like it's very obvious what you're going into. Like they are not
true,
making an
true,
Oscar film.
true. But I guess it was just exciting for us, like Indians, because we got to see so much of the Indian cast, and now
Yeah.
we're just feeling a little let down because, like, you're like, and oh yes, I really want to talk about this. But the yellow sort of color palette, I'm not going to call it a
Oh,
filter
oh my God.
because it's
See,
not a fucking Instagram photo, but still the yellow sort of color grade they go with.
it's called sepia, sepia tone.
Yeah, like
This is one of my
I'm like,
pointer actually.
why? Why so much of yellow?
Just because it's a third world country and
Yeah,
it's
that's I
Bangladesh, so yellow.
at first I thought it was like something to show off, like like you said, right? Like a third world country thing, or like something really serious happening. But then I feel like it was a bit too much.
Yeah, true, true.
Very, stereotypical.
Yeah, I mean,
In
I mean this
one,
movie.
in one way, you're trying to break the stereotypes. Getting Indian
Yeah,
actors, not the fake
yeah,
ones, the
yeah,
NRIs,
yeah. True,
and
true,
then
true.
you're doing this. And
Like not your,
I really feel bad for
not your Slumdog
Bangladeshis.
Millionaire guy. I forgot his name.
Oh my God, they didn't get any actor from Bangladesh to do any of the roles. They didn't
That's
shoot it in
true. That's
Bangladesh,
true.
and I'm sure they couldn't show the both the gangsters from India. They couldn't show India in so poor light and killing Indian army officers and all that. It would have created a
Yeah, probably, yeah.
havoc in
It's an
India.
Indian product. It's an Indian American production, I'm guessing, this movie, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, okay,
It
okay.
had to be either Bangladesh or
Yeah.
Pakistan. Dude, the number of army officers they
Extraction 2
killed.
would be Pakistan.
Yeah, the
Extraction 2
number
would be
of army
Pakistan.
people they killed. I was just thinking, while watching, if it was Indian army people, the war film had a scene where Ritik shoots and hits some army personals, and people made
Okay.
fuss of that, like boycott war
Really?
and all that. Yeah, insulting our army and all that.
Oh my, don't remind me of war.
Wasn't that like didn't that have a negative review or something? Like a lot of negative reviews?
It had mixed
War?
reviews, I guess.
Yeah, it
Oh,
had mixed
It had
reviews.
mixed.
I
It's
thought
it's
it wasn't
it's
a really good film.
it's a average, good average action
See,
entertainer. Like that's
War
it.
is the only film. War is the only film I feel like Tiger Shroff has done okay.
Dude, Tiger Shroff should join the Olympics, man. I don't know, man. The gymnastics and shit that he does, he should really just do better
I know, yeah.
and just join the Olympics or something and get some medals because acting is just like,
I think
Yeah, I think, see, even in, like, there are actors with limited acting abilities, but they, like, play to their strengths. But I don't think Tiger
yeah, but
Shroff really does that. He doesn't
no,
do that.
it's
Like,
like, see, most of Tiger Shroff movie, it's not diverse. It's only like an action
true.
film. Like, if you notice, like, majority of Tiger Shroff movies, not even majority, actually all of them, if
All,
I'm right about
like,
this,
has he
like,
done a movie that's not action? Has he done a movie that doesn't have any action scenes?
Munna Michael.
Oh my God.
no, but yeah, like there's no diversity to his roles, like it's like diversity as in like the film that he has. It's like it's only
Sure.
like an action scene. Like he has to do stunts. It
You
has to
know,
be like a yes.
you know what? I think the problem is he's doing diverse roles. He should stick to one thing.
How
But
is
I
it
didn't
diverse
see any
roles?
diversity, yeah, in his roles.
Yeah, how is it diverse roles?
I'm talking about his films, like
No,
they.
I'm like talking about like the way. No, I'm talking about his films, but there's nothing like okay.
Like, they
See,
made Baghi 3 times, and no one noticed.
that's the only point I need. There we go. It's like the only point I'm leaving it at that point.
See, the good thing is he himself says it that I'm not a good actor. My
See,
positive
but
is
I think the
action.
right director can take him to great lengths.
I think War did that, you know. The actor
Yeah,
made
yeah.
him
Like
do
in
something.
War, I thought he was pretty decent. Like I never felt off-put by his acting. He was pretty like in character for the most part of it.
You know, the problem with he has so much talent as an action star. He can do such a good pure action
Yeah.
films, you know, no Bollywood drama nonsense. But the problem is, our people who can do action are not doing it, and people who should not do action, choreographers, they are doing actions for him, and he's like, I don't have words.
Yeah. But they're doing so many good things, man. They're remaking Rambo. That's such an awesome thing. Like,
Wait, they're actually remaking Rambo.
yeah,
Yeah,
Rambo. Like that's like kudos to them, man.
Wait, what?
Sylvester
This is,
Stallone.
this is the first.
Sarcastic.
This is the first I'm
That's
hearing of this. Are
sarcastic.
they actually? Are they actually
Yeah,
doing that?
They are remaking Rambo.
Sylvester Stallone said he's excited to see the remake.
Wait, a remake as in like a Hindi remake.
Yeah,
See, Sylvester
Who's
Stallone is the
who's,
example.
who's acting in this
Where
though?
Tiger Shroff.
Tiger Shroff.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Did you did you see the Hero Panti 2 trailer poster?
There's a Hero Pandi 2. Oh my god.
They just copied. They just took a pose of Tiger Shroff from Baghi 3 and photoshopped it and just copied the look
No,
of John Wick
I'm
posters.
convinced. I'm convinced that all the posters of Tiger Shroff films are made at the same time. Like they have already made the posters of his movies for the next 5 years. They just release it accordingly.
I think we went on a tangent. There's
Yeah,
nothing to do
we
with
You know,
pretty
this.
much went on the tangent.
Extraction would have been improved if they had Tiger Shroff in it. There, I said
Uh,
it.
le- le- so guys, let's final thoughts one by one.
Could have been better. So far, so good. It could have been better if there was more emotions put into it. But as an action film, I'd give it like a solid 8 out of 10. Story wise, it was okay. Not the best, but it was fine. It was like an your normal average action film. That's about it. It is just my opinion.
I mean, no, it's perfectly all right. I look for me. I was excited that we get a movie like this now. Like during lockdown, I didn't really expect we'll be getting any big movies, but I was just really excited. Like it brought that movie watching experience back to me, even though it was in my laptop. But I was seeing something new, so that was cool. And I think overall the movie was okay. I don't think the movie would bore you. I think it's a pretty average movie which does what it's supposed to do. But I feel like it had potential for more. I think look, I don't want to give a rating for it because I I feel like see the problem with ratings is that if I give this a 7 on 10 or something, there'll be one other movie that I watch and I'll be like, that's a 7 on 10, but I like that one better than this. So I'm not going to assign a rating to this, but I think it was fine. It was all right. I would recommend giving it a watch.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I would say it's a one-time watch, and if you are a action fan, definitely watch it.
True,
But
true.
if you're not into action, I don't. If you can like clearly skip it. I would say that, and I
I mean, if
think
you're a Chris Hemsworth fan also,
yeah, and I
and if
think
you're a
for
Randeep Hooda fan, but not if you're a Pankaj Tripathi fan.
yeah, true that.
I
And
feel like they just dragged him off Sacred Games too. The set of Sacred Games when they said that just read the scene and now go.
Still have to finish the second season of Sacred Games.
It's just okay, man. I didn't really.
I love
I thought it
that.
was
Not as
okay.
the first season.
I love season two.
I
You
don't know.
love season
I
two.
thought the first season was pretty good.
The first season was good. The second season, the story elements all are good, but I feel like they went a bit too quickly.
Oh, okay.
Guys,
That's it. But
we're
it's
Yeah,
still
going
good. It's still
yeah,
good.
we're going on a tangent.
off topic.
Yeah,
I mean, most podcasts do that.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. So
I
I
mean,
just
I feel like the amount of people who'll be tuning in even now would be very less.
yeah, two people, one me and one my
Yeah,
friend.
two. I mean, it'll be just Nona just checking the audio. Like, is it
Yeah,
still there?
yeah. I'll tell you something at the end of the podcast. Just so remind me, okay? yeah. So the last thing I want to say is that for me, the only takeaway is that people from Hollywood and they see this film, they see there are really good Indian actors they can cast for good roles, not just for the sake of getting a diverse cast and getting an Indian actor.
I mean,
So
Irfan Khan will get some rest now.
yeah, he's getting a lot of rest, man. Hopefully, he gets well soon.
What
Yeah, true.
happened to him?
Oh, wait,
Disease.
that was actually,
I,
I realized how poor that joke was after I said it, because then I realized, oh, completely forgot about him.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
okay.
I
Yeah,
apologize. Like, if anyone took it in a bad way, I didn't mean that.
I'm sure people will understand that.
Yeah, sure,
People,
sure. I
people
mean, if
in
anyone is listening.
yeah. Okay, that hurted me to my soul.
No, but dude, he's a fantastic actor. I hope he comes back soon.
Yeah, sure, man. Yeah, and that's it. Only the exposure Indian actors will get, and hopefully they get,
True,
and
true.
hopefully Corona gets
Yeah.
over, and we get to see more
No, and
movies.
let's hope for more movies, like
Yeah,
more collaborations between
yeah.
Hollywood and Bollywood, and even Hollywood, Bollywood, like with Indian cinema in general. It'll be cool, I think.
yeah. I think it's coming to that point. With with
I mean, let's
only look at Dabang 3 getting dubbed in all Indian languages. Like that only tells you that people have started saying.
I
I'm
wish
not
a better
talking.
movie was dubbed in all languages.
Even Thugs of Hindustan was.
Oh,
even
wow.
war was.
See, I think War is like an Oscar-winning movie when you compare it with Thugs.
And that's where we should end the podcast.
Yeah,
That's
we're
it.
ending it on War.
Yeah, Manoj said it. We are ending it right. Yeah. So, yeah, guys, thank you for watching. If you are still hearing this, you have nothing to do in your life. What are you doing? Listening to
Yeah.
my podcast? No.
I
Do
mean, it's
something
lockdown, so
worthwhile.
I mean, it's lockdown, so fingers crossed some people actually hear this.
Yeah. So, guys, thanks again if you are still
Should we give our
hearing.
social medias in case people want to like disagree with us and come and yell at us?
Yeah, sure. All the links will be in the description. And yeah, do tell us what do you think about the film. And yeah, thank you for hearing. Thank you guys for joining. Josh, Manoj.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
Yeah. So I told you I'll tell you guys something.
Yes. What
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it?
I just realized that I have not been recording. And that's where
What?
we end the podcast. Bye guys.
Interesting.